Money has value because it is created through an accounting process called balance sheet expansion. Money consists of two categories. Category 1, there is base money, which is the monetary base of the economy. And this is the money which is printed or created by the central bank. This includes the printed banknotes, the coins, and the central bank reserves, which the commercial banks hold. This base money consists less than 10% or less than 20% of all total money supply. In some countries, it is even less than 5% of all total money supply in the economy. The second category of money consists of more than 80% of all total money supply in an economy. This second category of money is what most people are ignorant about, yet it's where most of the money in circulation is created. More than 80% of all money in circulation is created by commercial banks whenever they issue loans. This shocks many people because most people assume that central banks make most of the money, which is not true. But later on in more videos, we shall learn more details. But if you have doubt about this, you may ask Google that how is money created? Or you may ask your favorite AI chatbot, whatever it is, you'll be shocked how money is created and that commercial banks create most of the money. Just like base money is created through balance sheet expansion of the central bank, even credit money is created through balance sheet expansion of the commercial banks. Let us see how base money is created on the balance sheets of central banks. And we are also going to see how it gets value and why it remains valuable. Remember, base money consists of the cash, the printed cash, the coins, and the central bank reserves, which are in the commercial banks. The central bank prints new money and balances it with assets such as bonds, foreign reserves, and gold. Let us use one example. A central bank prints 10 billion shillings and uses these 10 billion shillings to buy government bonds worth 10 billion shillings. And in buying these government bonds, the newly printed 10 billion shillings enters the economy. Remember that the 10 billion shillings government bond is a pledge by the government to collect taxes of 10 billion shillings from the economy and return the money. You realize that the 10 billion shillings created by the central bank and issued into the economy is the liability, and the pledge by the government to collect 10 billion shillings from the economy through taxes is called the asset, and it's called the 10 billion bond, which is the asset, and that is the balance sheet. The money printed by the central bank is the liability, and the pledge to collect it from the economy is the asset, such that it cancels to zero. Let us use an example of the head taxi. Say a country collects head taxi from every person who is above 18 years. And if you are 18 years and above, you are supposed to pay 10,000. Therefore, the government expects to collect 10 billion shillings from all men and women above 18 years. This creates demand for money. Every person, every citizen, everywhere is looking for 10,000 shillings to pay the taxi. And now, at the same time, the government prints new money and releases it into the economy through the purchase of the bonds. So this newly created money finds demand everywhere across the country because everyone has the obligation to pay taxes. So in order to look for that money, to get some of the money, the people are willing to offer their labor, to offer their skills or their products so that they get some of that money so as to pay taxes. So that's how money gets demand. Most governments use indirect methods for collecting taxes from the population, but those indirect methods have the same impact in creating demand for money across the entire country. Like, for example, they put taxes on businesses which sell goods which all people depend on. Like, for example, it can be fuel, it can be in communication, airtime, it can be drinks. So when the governments collect taxes through things which people depend on, they create a situation. These companies put that margin for the government is taxi, and this forces everyone, because you need food, you need to travel, it forces everyone to look for money so that they can buy the drinks, they can maybe buy the fuel, they can buy everything. And because of that, the demand for money increases, and therefore the money which the government created, or which the central bank created, has a lot of demand in the economy, and that's how the value of money is maintained. In the year 2022, the Prime Minister of United Kingdom, Liz Truss, was removed from power only 45 days after swearing in. Why? The UK currency had started falling, losing value. She reduced taxes, and when you reduce taxes, the demand for the currency falls, and when the demand for the currency falls, the value for the currency also falls. And this is what happened. The interest rates for the bonds started rising. The bond is the government's pledge to pay people through collection of taxes. But if at all the people buying those bonds lose trust in your ability to collect taxes, they charge higher interest rates. And because of that, the UK currency started losing value, and she was removed from power. There's something about taxation, and it sits at how it starts from where money is created. When you look at the central bank's balance sheets, taxation is at the heart of the creation of money. The bonds are on the asset side, and the liability of newly printed money is on the liability side.